Hey guys, this is Tara Rochelle with The Rose Show. I have Makayla Kohler here and her mom Melissa. Tonight we're going to do an interview with Makayla. She is running for Miss Motorsports this year. So I want to get a take on her doing the pageant and what it will be like if she would win the title, how that would conflict with racing. So hey, hi,
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, hello.
Hi.
So, let's see, I wrote some things down here. You started racing at the age of 5,
Mhm.
yes?
Yes.
And quarter midgets,
Mm-hmm.
and you started here at Keystone. We are doing
Blue
the
Mountain
interview
Keystone.
here at Keystone, yes or no? Yeah.
Blue Mountain Keystone.
Blue Mountain
Yeah,
and Keystone?
they both.
Okay, good. Let's see. After quarter midgets, you went on to do what?
Slingshots. I raced at Hamlin, and we tried Action Track a couple times, but wasn't
And-
really our thing.
No.
No.
You didn't like it there?
Mm-mm.
Did you like Hamlin?
I think I raced 1 or 2 seasons at Hamlin,
Mm-hmm. 2, I
and
think.
then I was just over slingshots and dirt, and then we went to asphalt.
And you went on to, let's see, I think, do hobby stocks?
Yes.
Mhm.
So the hobby stocks you ran at Mahoning or Evergreen? Or
Both.
both? Okay.
Both. I started at Mahoning and the Futures. We raced, I think, 2 seasons there, and then for our 3rd season we did Mahoning and Evergreen. We won the championship at Evergreen that year, and
So what year did you win the championship? 2022 was that?
I
Was
think
that
so.
in the 602 modified?
No,
No?
that was hobby stock. And then we went to the mod.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you decide to do the Miss Motorsports pageant this year?
Well, I wanted to do it for a couple years, but with school and work, it just wasn't. I didn't want to go out and waste time if I would win because I want to have time to go to tracks and all that. So we decided to wait till we graduated, and yeah.
So that's what my next question was. So you are a nurse graduate, yes? And you work full time,
Mm-hmm.
and then race,
Yes.
and now you're going to take on the pageant.
Yes.
So if you do win the pageant, how will you juggle all of that? I know when Morgan, won the title
Mm-hmm.
with racing and her job, it is a lot.
Yeah.
But you kind of balance it out. So do you have in mind how you would balance that? Or even doing the Miss Motorsports, so when you're racing at Mahoning,
Mm-hmm.
you can also
Yes.
show up as,
Yeah.
as the trophy girl.
Right.
And that's what Morgan would do.
Yeah.
And you feel like you'll be able to balance that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I work my 3 shifts, which are 12 hours. So that's for the week, I'm done. And then we usually have usually once a month, we work a weekend. Depending on how it lays out, it will hit 2. So I try and schedule myself 3 days in a row and then have off for the next 5. And then with racing, like you said, I'm kind of just, if I'm racing at Mahoning, try and do both there. I actually said to Cody, I was like, Cody, what if I win Miss Motorsports and you're running in Atlantic City? I was like, you know how badass that would be?
That would be amazing. That
To
would
be
be
in
so
victory
cool.
lane with you, I was like, so cool.
That would be so cool.
So,
That was my next question.
Yes.
So how do Cody is your brother?
yes.
He races as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys ever race against each other?
We haven't this year. I did race with the modifieds, the one
For one race.
race or 2, whatever. But he didn't race the modified that night.
And
So
how competitive are you against each other?
he tries to give me advice, and I kind of just be smart with him. I'm
Okay.
like, well, we kind of go at it then because I'm like, well, you didn't do this. You do this on the track when I'm watching you. And he's like especially with the grate and the one turn, we always hit it. That's something that we both struggle with. It's like, you hit the grate, and I'm like, yeah, well, so do you. So it's just
brotherly, sisterly
Oh,
love.
yeah,
That
for
happens
sure.
with Morgan and Ryan
Yeah.
as well. They try to give each other advice, and
Mhm.
it's funny because Morgan will try to give Ryan advice, and then Ryan will try to give her advice, and,
Yep.
and they kind of butt
They
heads,
clash.
you
Yeah.
know.
They clash, yep.
So
Well, and it's funny because as much as we clash, it's we go to each other still.
Sure.
To be
Mhm.
yeah,
so what are you thinking? This is what I'm thinking, but and then he says something, and I'm like, you know what? I don't even want your advice anymore.
but it's
And then
great.
5 minutes later, I'm like, okay, so tell me what you
They're
want
like
to say.
each other's
Right.
biggest supporters.
I
Mhm.
feel like it's such a family
Bond.
bond.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as our family as well, you
Yeah.
know, and you're there together. So how could
Right.
you know, not take,
Yeah.
you know. Let's see. Do you ever feel like you're being treated differently as a female race car driver against the
I think
males?
so. I
Yes.
feel like being in a male dominant sport, it's more of, I feel like we get looked down on more,
Mhm.
and it's easier to push us around, I feel
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
than
But you don't back down.
No.
You know.
No.
What would be advice to other girls that want to race but are afraid to race or run for the pageant? This year we have the Little Miss pageant.
I'm so happy that's
So am I.
Yeah.
I'm so
I'm
glad for
excited.
that. So what is your advice to younger girls? Like I said, even, you know, at 5, they come and they take the rookie class at a quarter midget and they love it.
Go for
But
it.
they're also scared because of the boys.
Go for it. It doesn't matter.
They can do
Female
anything a
and-
voice can do.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's
Yeah.
what I tell her. You're just as strong as your brother is.
Right.
You just have to believe in yourself.
Yep.
You just have to go out
100%,
there and push yourself to be
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
what you
even
want to be.
At the fair, like, I have a couple friends that their daughters race, and just going and seeing that, like, it makes me happy knowing that they're out there and they're doing it, and
Mhm.
that it's not just a male dominant sport.
Right.
Like, it,
Mhm.
like, there's a lot of females more, I feel like, coming up and racing now.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like my number one thing that I could say is, like, don't be scared, just go for it.
Mhm.
Like,
And
dive in.
I see you, you interact with the fans all the time. You,
I'm very big on that.
yeah, and I think that's great. I feel, you know, if you would win the pageant,
Mhm.
you are such, you would be a great ambassador for the sport
Mhm.
Yeah.
because of, you've been around racing a really long time and you know what it's about. You know, I think you would do so well.
Thank
I
you.
really do,
Thank
and
you.
I hope you do well.
I even was hoping they would do, like, we do swag bags. So they do, like,
Yep.
for the main pageant.
Mm-hmm.
I even asked, like, if we could sponsor, like, the younger girls.
Yeah.
They were like, well, we don't really do that, but so I did actually get them, like, little crowns.
Oh, that's
I blow
so
up,
cute.
so,
Oh, what a
yeah.
great idea.
Mhm.
Great. I
I'm
love
excited.
that. I love that. I'm going to switch to you, Melissa. Are you excited for her? Like, I feel like you're coming out of your shell, like
Yeah.
doing this.
Yeah.
I really do. Like,
Mhm.
I could see her doing it, but I also, you know, she's a little shy, I feel. I'm excited.
She was Miss
I'm-
Mahonin one year.
Right.
And I feel like I
Um,
wasn't as open then, but I enjoyed
Right.
it. So
Yeah,
I
she
feel
was
like
younger.
this is,
Right.
She was a lot younger when
Yep.
she did that.
yeah.
I think once she went through school and the college and the whole experience and the working at
Mm-hmm.
the hospital
Mm-hmm.
has brought her more out of her
Right.
shell and has given her a little bit more, I don't want to say confidence
Mhm.
because she's had the confidence,
Yep.
but a little bit
Sure,
more
sure.
of that edge.
Yep.
You
Brings
know?
her out more.
Because
And
she's the quiet one in our
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like once you get on the stage, you're just
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
shine like you do.
She'll blossom.
I'm excited because, like I said, being Miss Mahoning, I was more laid back and younger and not as open, but
Right.
like wasn't as outgoing, I guess. with
Right.
it.
And I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that in you. That you
Yeah.
really like developed. You know, I mean, I've known you for a really long time. You, what do you do when you get backlash, negativity towards Makayla or Cody? How do you handle that? Because I used to get really
Yeah.
rambunctious and really like I had to calm myself down.
Mhm.
And I feel
Mhm.
now, like as they're getting older and
You kind of have to walk away and you kind
be
of have to keep
professional.
in your head that,
right,
you know, like I always tell both the kids, I'm your biggest fan,
yes,
but I'm your biggest critic.
Yep.
You know, so
Yep.
if they're wrong doing something,
Yep.
I'm the first one at that car to tell them.
Yep.
You know, if there is backlash,
Mhm.
you try to walk away.
Mhm.
It gets very, very hard though,
Sure.
because like you said, yes, they are older,
Mhm.
but they're still my babies.
Sure.
You know, so it's kind of one of those things where you have to try to walk away.
Like I feel like the criticism, you know, like different things back with Ryan and Morgan, and it's like you just want to like.
You do.
But you have, like I said, you have to bring yourself back. I see how some parents act, and I'm like, I used to be that parent, but I kind of had to bring myself back because you kind of have to feel like professional if you want your child to succeed in this dominating sport.
It's kind of if something is going on like that, both my kids get out of their cars, they go in the trailer, and Mark and I stand back. You know, I have to walk to the side of the trailer.
Yeah.
Breathe. Calm down.
Because you have to represent yourself as well, too.
Yes.
I feel like that's another thing
Yes.
that, like,
Yes.
if me or Cody get out and we're very frustrated, it's one of each other. Like, if Cody's frustrated, I feel like I'm one of the people that can actually get him back in the trailer and, like, not to
down
be, like, just shut up.
Yeah.
And, like, you're going back out, we're fine. And I feel like that's me, too. Like, as much as it annoys the shit out of me when I get out and he's like, just calm down, like, I already handled it, it's all handled, like, okay, but it's still frustrating, so at the moment, thank you for calming me down, but at the same time, the hell out of my face.
And
like,
you can handle your own.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how Morgan is too.
Yeah.
She'll, you know, I can handle myself, but you have to handle yourself in a professional kind of way.
Right.
I
You
feel.
have to kind of step back and take it into consideration
Absolutely.
and see where it's coming from.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cody's
You know what I mean?
definitely a hothead between me and him,
Okay.
so.
Cody has my.
Yeah. Let's see. Sorry.
It's okay.
Do you have anything that you do on race day when they're getting ready to go out in the car? Do you do like, you know, some moms or dads, whatever, they'll have a prayer before. They'll do, like Ryan and I will do a certain handshake before. Like, do you have anything you say? Do you?
It has to be before she gets in her car. Because once her and Cody are in the car, leave them go.
Yep, they're focused.
Yeah, they're thinking race. Where am I going to go? How am I starting? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's kind of, I love you. Use your head. Be safe. And then I kiss them each on the head, and I walk away.
Good. Okay. Nice.
And then I go and pray.
Yeah,
I do. Like I go over to the pits, to the stands, and okay, this is my moment before they go on that track to pray.
Yep.
And to make sure everybody's safe and that there's nothing going on and
I do that too. I walk in a corner, I do the Lord's Prayer, and I sit there. I don't watch the races, like, you know, and I know you don't watch sometimes either. You'll hand the camera off to someone else as well.
Yeah.
But it's
hard.
It is
like,
hard
to watch that, and then when you see something going on, again, it takes you back to that's my baby.
Right. Sure.
Or oh my God, what's gonna happen?
Sure.
Or you know what I mean? Like you see something on that track, and all you're thinking is, oh my God, Makayla, please. You know what I mean? Or Cody.
Yep.
You know, everybody always says, I think that the kids can hear me.
Right.
And they can't.
And we
They
do say
can't.
that. We even say that. Like, if I'm watching her with Cody, I'm like, do you think he can hear you? No. And I do it too. Like, I try and, like, talk to Cody like he can hear me. And I think that's also because I've spotted for him before. So it's like, what are you doing? Like,
It's emotional.
Sure.
It's very emotional, you know?
And no one knows it until you
You're in that
experience
position.
it, you know. And Terry's behind the camera, Terry Ware, so she knows too. It's, you know, people are like, oh, racing, you know, what kind of sport is that?
Oh boy, they go in a circle for how many laps?
Right, but you
There's
have
a
no
lot more to it than
idea.
that.
You have no idea.
I mean, even being on the mom side and watching it all these years with both of them, you know, there's still times where you're out of your mind and you're like, okay, well,
it's an out of life experience, especially
Yeah,
on
sure
the
is.
track.
Sure is.
you know, and you learn something new every time you go to the track.
Absolutely. You're still learning.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still learning at this point, you know. So
It's very it's different. It's
it
very
is different. It really is a different kind of sport. And you know, people say it's not a sport, but it really is a sport. And
I think out of all the sports that the kids have done, this is like the best sport.
Yeah.
Because you meet people and you become family.
Yes. The family and the friends that you make
That's a big
is
part.
like no other. It really isn't.
That's a big part of why I feel like I'm going out for motorsports too, to like expand, to see
That's what I
more
was
people,
gonna say.
to bond, to
Yes.
just the whole
Right.
experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna make some new friends and friends that will last a
Years.
lifetime.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know.
And that's how it is. I mean, we graduated quarter midgets. You guys still were doing quarter midgets.
Yeah.
Terry and Danny were still doing quarter midgets. But you still had that bond.
Right,
you still had that
connection.
friendship.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
don't
you
lose
still
that.
know that if you call, that
Sure.
person's going to try to help you
Yeah.
however they can.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like, even if
Absolutely.
you haven't seen anybody.
Yep.
I mean, I seen Danny and I couldn't see him at
Mhm.
the indoor shows because I didn't have my glasses and I'm blind. And he's like walking to me and stuff and talking to me and I'm like, and then I realized who it was and you kind of feel like, oh my God. Like,
And you don't miss a step, I feel like sometimes.
Mhm.
You just pick up where you left off.
you do.
know?
Yeah.
Even like my closest friends, like I feel like a lot of them are from racing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like Mackenzie.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. That's
Mhm.
Morgan saying
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
she
And
has
Brittany,
her
Morgan,
three.
yeah.
Yep. Her three
Yep.
best friends that have been from day one in
Yeah.
racing.
And it's lovely because
Mm-hmm.
not like Mackenzie doesn't race, but since we grew up with it, like she
knows all about
knows
right there.
everything.
Yeah.
Like
she's involved.
even if I'm racing or whether if Cody's racing, she'll still come to the track and
Yeah.
support us, get
Yeah.
in whatever she can get in and help. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just so, I guess, heartwarming to know like we have all these bonds
Yeah.
and no matter what day of the week it is, like, hey, I know you're racing this weekend, but Friday let's do this and then we'll come to the track. Like
Mhm.
it's just
Yep.
like family.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
yeah.
It's nothing that no one will ever know unless you
Mhm.
experience
Right.
it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I am so excited for this weekend.
Me too.
I hope you do so well,
Thank you.
and I hope all the ladies do well.
We
You
have
have
a big
a-
group.
yeah. I
Huge
think I
group.
saw 20 girls. I think?
24.
Oh
Yeah.
wow! So
Yeah.
added 2 or 4 more onto that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you just have to go out there, have fun, and shine like you do. And I will
I'm
be
excited.
there and cheering you guys on.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you
So-
much.
That is it with Makayla Kohler and her mom Melissa. Thanks
you.
for tuning in. Peace.
Thank you.